Okay. Stanley, your time. Oh, yes. There's something wrong with this today. Okay. Welcome back, Maple, in school uniform. Thank you. It's going to take a while. Yes. Here we go. What have I learned from this semester of CISG 113 Section 1?
Yeah,
Bingo.
So this is our topic. What have I learned from this semester of CISG113 Section 1? And I'm studying. I'm in the pair 14 and team number 3. So before these courses, I also learned some information about the security and privacy in our high school. And we also need to make our system. The system is about our pilots. It's a trial system. That means when your car comes in our car park, then you need to pay some money, something like that. And we found that there has some disadvantage. The disadvantage is if the staff lost his password, then someone will access in your system randomly. So I think it's not good. And I expected to learn something about information security in these courses, and also give our feedback to myself. So in solution part, we planned that use our staff ID card is useful for our car park system. Expectation. This means what I expected to learn in this class. I want to learn more about security information and actually apply it in my life. It means that I want to share my knowledge to my parents or my friends and hope that they can know more protection methods. And to learn more about wireless security because this topic is very close to us. And also I want to talk more and learn more and let every member know how the importance is about this topic. So what have I done in these courses? I have done 10 journals, including learning contract 1 and 3. In this part, it also has the team collaboration wiki, and also I did the digital story. You need to use software to cut the video, so I learned this software. And also, I think discussion in the classes is also very important. So there has 10 journals, and I will only choose 5 journals to talk about and explain more. So what is information security? Information security is contained in the class. Confidentiality, integrity, and availability. And I think almost our password is also important. And there has 3 protection methods. The first one is not available to allow other users access in your system or devices easily, and make sure the data cannot be modified by other users. Store and process the information and make sure the access by functioning is fully correct. So this is some protection method. And my second journal is about what is knowledge society. Knowledge society is something like this work is all around is need some information security to protect us, and we need to know some knowledge for apply in our computer system. Since there have endless amount of information, then we need to choose some useful information for our assignment. For doing some assignment, we need to know some keyword including the engine and search for some useful data. The second point is non-famous or some Facebook users will claim that they sell some products at the real price. So this is a kind of big commerce case. On the front part, how to be a smart consumer? I think to be a smart consumer, we need to avoid to buy something very expensive on the internet, because I think it's not 100% confident if you buy something that's very expensive. And my third journal is about digital market. For some situation in digital devices, because this is a social issue which can be tested by policymakers and other concerned stakeholders in the information society or knowledge economy. And there has always some people are lack of approaching ICT. In UK, there has a lot of people that never use some digital devices. So I think in our atmosphere, we need to tell more our parents or some younger people about some fraud and about the news that has manufactured want to take the younger people. So I think digital divided will still happen or appear in the following 10 years or 20 years. So I think this we are need to awareness to notice that. And my third journal is about information competency. The first thing about the composition is we need to recognize the need for information and acquire and evaluate information. Also, we need to organize and maintain information and interpret and communicate information. Or some information competency requirement. That means some teacher how to they need to prepare for their sources or material. The teacher can search for books, e-books, and DVDs in either our traditional online catalog or the new one source, or use some database for materials. Learning outcome of information competency. Recognize when information is needed by a specific topic, and also develop effective research strategies by selecting appropriate research tools and using effective research techniques to obtain desired information. That means you can use YouTube or some video for learning, because some active learning can best to become more perfect. And the last journal that I will go through is about impatient. So that has one point that I noticed about when I do this journal. Imagine that Windows 10 is it's not safe because they will always share the information or the parameter to the internet. When downloading Windows 10, you are authorizing Microsoft to share any of our session data with any third party, with or without your consent. So that was the function of encryption. The function of encryption. So when encryption like peer-to-peer encryption, they will also apply it in mobile phone. When you send mail or message, then they will lock some message and prevent someone to know this message. There has five main kinds of privacy. The first one is file privacy, voice privacy, chat privacy, and traffic privacy. And there's a case about encryption. With our groundbreaking encrypted data transfer that will enable people to send files securely from a smartphone or tablet at the touch of a laptop. This case is that I mentioned before. And the following is also some examples that I have done, but I'm not going to discuss about it. This is my summary part. I learned a lot of security methods in different aspects, knowledge from this course. And we call to big number one or big number two, I learned what is IPL and how to be talk to the student, and also I try to discuss some knowledge from the video. Because we need to do some task participation in classes, and we need to find our partners to discuss. So those things that among me the most. So I really learn much from these classes. That's all from my presentation.
We thank you for Stanley's comprehensive approach to help us to understand what we should have learned in this semester. Now, may I invite Takashi as our second speaker to share with us his perspective of what he has learned from this semester.
Today, I want to talk about what I've learned in this course. Honestly, I choose this talk just because I don't know how to write a computer program, and I also don't want to learn about that at the beginning. But after several classes, I started to feel that this course is interesting for me. So let's talk about what I've done in this course. For the week one panel, I've learned about some information security, and I also chose it to be my learning contract one. It's the first time I've learned that hacker can steal your password for an account when you are using the same Wi-Fi with him. And so that I've learned that don't get in important websites such as spam or another when you are using the free Wi-Fi. And I also learned some to protect myself, such as don't use the same password in any website, or don't use don't make the same password in many websites such as or make the password more difficult to know, such as don't use your phone or birthday number to be your password. For the other journal, the thing that me feel interesting is computer network and so on that we are using is advanced in such a short time. You can see that, for example, the word IT in 1960 to 70s, just these kind of people such as the one who is writing program in bank or using computer in hospital will know it. And just 10 years, many of advanced countries will have their own computers and using network and so on. And now almost all of us are using this. I also learned some about hacking and cracking. I've known that there has two types of hacker. One is hacking in the program and told the other one what the loophole they had and to improve the program, and the other one is nominal climbing. And I also noticed that at the beginning, hacker is tending to construct and cracker is tending to destroy. But why we will think that all or both has a negative meaning is because some of the hacker and the other one use their skill to climb. But after that, we just know that just hacker can do such of this thing, and after the time passed, we think both of them has negative meaning. And I also use hacking and cracking to be my learning contract fee. And in the learning contract fee, I think I've learned a lot from this and from my team members. First, I'm the team leader of the team 5, but I don't think I have to do my duty. I haven't known very well about what we had to do, so that we getting misunderstanding. For the result, we have choose our own topic for the journal, but we haven't decided our team project topic, and we have to do more and more job to deal with that. And I also learned many from my team members, such as Venus, is all we have to do in the paper and course to finish that. And Ian has communicated with all of us to have a discussion and so on. For the conclusion, in this course I've learned how to protect ourselves in the web network, and also how to set the job, search information, communicate with others, and I've learned some about the teamwork. I think although this course has a little bit heavy for me, such as the homework, but I still think this course is good for me. That's all this.
Thank you, Takashi, for sharing with us your perspective. Now, Ian, you're the first speaker of the day.
Today I will presentation about what I learned in this class. This is the outline. In the which one, I know that what is information privacy. The information privacy is important. People need to protect the personal information because crackers can use personal information to make crime. In this exercise, I know that people should protect information to prevent criminal make a computer crime. In week 2, I know that what is information technology and how information technology affects people's lives. Business can knock the customer target by information technology. Business can search customer internet record and web record and infer customer shopping habits. And then the business can make a plan to sell goods to customers. In the week 3, I learned what is effects in the information age. People should not hurt other people in internet. This is the most important role in the information age. The cyberbullying and cracker behavior is immoral. In the week 4, I know what is information literacy. And know if people make false information in internet, people will suffer loss. For example, the false shopping website can gather the victim's internet bank account and password. And the false information website can make people have a wrong value. In the week 5, I know privacy is important to people. If cracker can get personal information, cracker can use information to make crime. Therefore, people need to protect privacy, such as anti-virus software to protect computers and don't provide personal information in public internet. In the week 6, I know cracking and hacking is different. Hacker will use computer skills to improve internet and computer and software function. But cracker will use computer skills to destroy computer and make crime. In the week 7, I know what is information fraud will affect public. The information fraud means cracker will use information technology to make a fraud. If people want to prevent information fraud, people should not receive the strange message from email and other software. In the week 8, I know that network security is important to human life. If cracker can know the people versus password, cracker can know what website victim has seen and know some personal information by internet. Therefore, people should protect Westnet network and make passwords to Westnet internet service. In week 9, I know that if this issue is important to protect and hacker. If people use computer skills to improve computer technology, it is a good thing. But some people use illegal software to hurt people and make crime, and it is illegal and immoral. Everyone should not injure other people, even though in the internet. In week 10, electricity harassment is a serious problem to people. Some hackers will use electricity technology to help people, such as make an interesting transmitter to hurt people's body and tapping. Therefore, the electronic harassment is harmful for people and people need to prevent it. In week 11, I make a midterm journal assignment. We're talking about the computer crime. I know how Quaker makes computer crime. Quaker will make a message with being virus. If written acid it, the virus can infect computer and control it. Quaker will use the computer information to make crime. And then I will make a conclusion. In this class, I not only know knowledge about the computer and technology, I learned how to cooperate with team members. People should search the information by self and find the question about the topic. Take a direct about the topic and then discussion the work with team members, make sure understand, find a way to decide and work together. This is all my presentation.
Okay, we thank you, Ian, for helping us to understand his perspective for the semester. Any more speaker? Jackie. Right, yes.
Good morning, everyone. I want to share what I have learned from this semester of CISG113. My name is Jackie. From this class, I have learned these 3 topics I have learned very deep, so I can explain what is this, what is information security, what is hacking and cracking, what is wireless network security. First, I talk what is information security. Information is an asset to all individuals and business, and there have 3 types, and the short word is CIA. Category is protecting information from being disclosed to unauthorized parties. And for example, when submitted to our website, your personal data should only be used or accessed exclusively by designated staff in that company for the purpose agreed. No one else should be allowed to use your data for individual purpose or view the data out of curiosity. And second, integrity, protecting information from being changed by unauthorized parties. For example, when submitted to our website, your personal data should not be alerted in any way during data transmission or by the website company. And the third one is availability of information to authorized parties only when required. For example, you should be able to access and check your personal data keep on our website at any time. And then talk about what is hacking and cracking. And first of all, I'm thinking is hacking and cracking is the same thing that when I learned in this class, before this class. But after I searched the information, and hacking and cracking is the totally different things. Hacking and cracking, these are 2 different forms of internet and computer-related privacy and copyright breach, and they are usually malicious. Hacking and cracking are totally different things, but they are both malicious forms of cyber activity. And hacking is using the knowledge of computer logic and code for malicious purpose. But cracker is like a backdoors in program and explores those doors. Cracking is less harmful than hacking. So it sounds like horrible, so we should protect our computer to prevent hacker and cracker. We can keep our firewall turned on. Firewall helps protect our computer from hackers who try to crash it, steal information, etc. Install or update our antivirus software that can detect malicious code like a virus or a ROM. It work to disarm or remove it. Be careful what we download. There may be some virus or other malicious thing and never open an email achievement from someone we don't know. And then let's talk about what is wireless network security. There have 3 different types of wireless network security methods. This line in the modem and the router. Let's do the first one, Wi-Fi protect access, WPA and WPA2. Is used to encrypt information and make sure that the network security key has not been web-fraud. It also athletics users to help ensure that only authorized people can access the network. There are 2 types of WPA and WPA2. WPA is more secure than WPA, but it will not work with some older network. WPA is designed to be used with an X02.1X authentication server, which describes different keys to each user. And then the second one is the right equivalent privacy, WEP. WEP is an older network security method that's still available to support older devices, but I think we don't use it in nowadays. You can set up a network security key when you enable WEP. The key encrypts the information that a computer sends to another computer across your network, but this method is easy to crack. And what is X02.1X authentication? And it can help enhance security for X02.11 wireless network and private and Ethernet networks. And X02.1X use an authentication server to validate users and provide network access on wireless networks. X02.1X can work with WPA, WPA2, or WEP keys. This type of authentication is usually used when connecting to a workplace network. And my impression is, from this class I learned except what about security things, computer things, and I learned how to learning and talk to learning and something like that, and I'm happy to work with my groupmates, and I'm thankful for them. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
We thank you very much, Jackie, for sharing with us. It's a knowledge of this semester, and we thank you all of you who are willing to stand up here to share with us your knowledge of this semester. Edward, have you done your speech yet? Have you done your speech yet? It's okay. It's all right. Now, I think it's very important that I provide a simple but brief conclusions of this class before we get into the official student questionnaire feedback. Now, this is the 14th week of the semester. If you look at the day of the semester, it's day number 28. Okay, so throughout the semester, we have 28 times of coming together. In this 28 times of class hours, I start out by introducing to you the purpose of this GE course. It is to help you to transition from being a taught-to-learn student to a learn-to-learn student. Now, you need to tell yourself how much of these transitions we have made throughout the semester. Now, the subject of this course is information security and privacy. And there are many things we can study under this big umbrella. But you see, most of you are not technical, do not have a technical background, not computer science, not software engineering. So when we come to teach you something about this topic, it's very hard for me to get into something technical, given the variety of the background. So I assume each one of you must have the following competency to begin with. It's your basic ability to understand simple to common English. There are some differences between simple English and common English, okay? And there will be something called educated English. And then you need to know how to express ideas, no matter how much in English, in the written form and also in oral form. After that, I expect that you will be willing to look at some information that is provided to you everywhere. And in this particular class, we have 10 reading lists, 10 reading lists. And in each of these reading lists, I include a number of questions. But if you have been observant enough, each of these questions start with the keyword what. So I do not expect anything more than what. Okay, you know that if you study communication, there will be what, who, why, where, when, and how, right? But as I have been observing throughout your journal, instead of just staying where the what is all about, many of you have already stepped out of the what to ask why, to ask how, and to ask when, and to ask who. Remember, I introduced to you in the first class the differences between secondary school learning and the college learning, the expected college learning. And in between, there is something called, let me see, in the secondary school, we teach you that you always have to rely on someone called a teacher to help you to learn something. And in the college year, it is very important that you know the teacher is there. But the functions of a teacher is to develop an environment for you to engage yourself in a specific subject of knowledge where you have freedom to choose. I have tried to do that with the 15 weeks innovations provided, so that in each week it is expected that you will be willing and you must have done something to select something of your own interest and then start exploring that subject, but using a method that it's very important for college students, that it's a method based on inquiry-based learning, IBL. What IBL is all about is to help yourself to learn how to question into something. And the way to help you to question into that something is to help you to practice the method of OIA. Observe something, take notes, interpret that something you've taken, ask question, and learn from what you've taken from the notes, learn from what you have asked the question, and put them together as your lessons learned. So the OIA patterns of thinking forms the foundations of IBL. It also forms the foundations of critical thinking, because you need to practice it. And then we have invited you to go through the semester using 3 specific assignments. Learning Contract 1 is basically introducing to you IBL, inviting you to practice OIA, and then when you step into Learning Contract 2, although we cure it because it's time pressure, we introduce to you the idea of SRL, that means on top of IBL, we invite you to make sure you know what you're looking for, what's your learning goals, and how you're going to accomplish that with so much time, your timeline, and with a plan of actions. And also, you make sure you reserve time for you to review what you've done. If it's not good enough, have time to adjust the plan of actions and evaluate the results. That could be done personally, as one person, but it's so much better if you have a learning partner to do it with you. So I invite you to select a learning partner starting from the second week of the semester and stay with that learning partner throughout the whole semester. And then when you step into learning contract number 2, even though we did not do it, I also invite you to select another pair of students as your cooperating partners, and then you form a team so that you're ready to get into the third learning contract, the last assignment, to enjoy, or to better say, labor and course teamwork and learn from it. It's not easy. Well, the third learning contract asks of you problem-based learning. That is how you put together what you learned in IBL, how you practice the skill of SRL and use it in the context of teamwork. And then the most important thing is you must propose a problem. The team is going to work on that problem. And everybody is going to own that problem. And then you don't have all the time you need. But interestingly speaking, we spent 4 weeks in the first learning contract. We stopped doing learning contract number 2 in the second week of the 3-week period, and we invite you to put together the 2 learning contracts and use 6 weeks time to do it. So 4 weeks one assignment, 6 weeks another assignment, and then 4 weeks for the e-portfolio. Now, you're doing the e-portfolio. That is the time when you try and put things together. You do not want to lose what you have spent so much time with. So the e-portfolio asks of you to reflect on what you've learned. So here we come to the last day of the class. What have you learned? We heard someone, many of you have already shared a speech of the semester. I believe it's not just because it is going to give you 10 points of a semester point, but many of you have done a good job. So are you ready for the student feedback questionnaire? Now I'm going to invite you to do it with 30 minutes time at most. We must stop at 2:30, all right? I cannot give you the link because that's not under my control. Go to your student webpage now in the school and go in the course CISG113. Remember, it's section 1, okay? And then I believe when you get into that particular course sections under a student web, they have already given you a link to the specific questionnaire. Have you found the link yet? Now, get into the student web and try to discover where the course evaluation link is. Now, they do not call it course evaluation, they call it student feedback questionnaire. How many of you have got the link? Done. Job done. That means you have already done it too. Right? Very good. How many of you have not got to the link? Ask those students who have done the job, okay? And they could show you where the link is. All right? Have you done it? Thank you very much. Have you done it? I need your help to finish the student feedback questionnaire. It's very important that the students in every course that I administer must finish the student feedback questionnaire because I can read your feedback afterwards. Now, we have done something similar inside the Moodle, so probably I know the general picture of it, but still this is official. The result that you're going to input in that link is going to be read by my boss, all right? So it's very important. All right, so if you cannot find a link, look for the table over there. They've done it already, all right? They can tell you where the link is, all right? Karina, can you find the link? Okay, that's good. Simple. It's so much better. In the past, someone has to carry the package in, deliver to you in paper and pencil, and then collect it back, and then they enter the data. It's simple now. Everything is electronic. I love this approach. Quick and clean. Now remember, next Monday is the last day of the semester. That means after next Monday, I will start giving you a grade, okay, on the whole work that you've done in this semester. But remember, starting from tomorrow, you will see in your learning contract number 3 the score of individual work, okay? All right, so this is very important. You need to chase after me. You cannot see the score, all right? So, it's so good to be with you. I cannot give you any more except for the Angus chocolate just now. It's good enough for me to just give you some sweets, all right? So let me see. It's very good, just 2 it's fine. All right, let me introduce to you a wonderful movie that I discovered on YouTube that it has been lost for some time. But I plan to make sure you know this movie. Let's see. For those of you who finished. All right, so let's see. I believe if you have not watched this movie before, it's a good time for you to spend some time after exam to watch this movie. It's called Good Will Hunting, and starring Robin Williams. Okay, it's a very good movie. Do you understand what is meant by Good Will Hunting? Someone who's a hunter, you know, a hunter hunts animal, right? All right, a hunter hunts animal. But Good Will Hunting means what? You are hunting for people with a goodwill to do something. And here is the stories about a teacher motivating a student, a genius, okay, to do something great for his own life. It's a very good movie. Now you come here, maybe I just copy the link for you and put it in our Moodle website. Now, normally they will not allow you to watch it directly from here because normally they will redirect you to a movie site. It happens that when I checked it this morning, it's there. So let me just make sure you got it. So let me display it here. Good. So now you can click on this link. How many of you have watched this movie before? Kelvin? Wow! Let's make a speech to share with us what you got from this movie. Have you watched it? In the past, right? What do you feel? What do you think? You don't know what's happening. You were impressed by the story. That's good. Don't worry. You're not going to miss It's a very good movie about a genius who knows something about mathematics. And then he needs a good teacher to uncover his pain. That's it. It's already in our website. On the first block. So we have time tonight during the week. But watch it fast because the link will be removed soon, as far as I am concerned, because it's copyrighted. his main character. I'm not going to tell you what the story is all about. I would like you to discover on your own, alright? You don't need a teacher to tell you what you can discover from watching the story. See you. Bye-bye, Joe. Bye-bye, Steady. Drinking is a big problem in the United States campus, and it causes a lot of death. That's not the main point.